The fun part about keeping reptiles is handling them, but don't handle these ones, handle these ones instead. Handling animals is, well, you could technically handle all of them. I'm just saying these, for different reasons, aren't the most handleable. And not just because they're going to bite you, I want to focus on other things too. So let's just start off with number 5, big monitors. Now, as you can see here, obviously you can handle big monitors, but most people aren't going to be like Robert that you see here, that they're going to manicure the nails and make sure they don't get destroyed, because these animals will destroy you with their nails. I mean, they will lacerate you. Not that they're trying. They're just made to grip onto tree branches, and your skin is soft and pathetic in comparison to a tree branch. So it's not that they're bad handling because they are gonna try to hurt you. It's just impractical to handle something like a water monitor or a lace monitor or a crocodile monitor, because if those claws grab a hold of your face by accident, it is going to be a life-altering event, possibly. It's possible that you manicured their nails just like a dog, or I don't know if you manicured cat paws. I don't think you do, right? I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. Cats are cute, just I don't have any. Anyway, it's possible that you manicured them and they're gonna be, not as crazy as they could be, but at the same time, these animals are meant to carry their weight with their claws, driving up a tree or the side of a hill or whatever. And although a lot of these animals can be not tamed, but socialized, you do have to worry about a bite, because a bite from a water monitor or a croc monitor especially, that's gonna be a life-altering event. I mean, that's not, a bearded dragon biting you and it's a little ouchy and it bleeds a bit. I mean, that might be stitches going to the hospital. Even if it's unlikely, it's something to worry about, which is why I'd recommend instead small monitors, obviously. Now, I get it. Small monitors don't have the allure of big monitors. If they did, I wouldn't fantasize about having a black dragon water monitor or a lace monitor. I want them badly, just don't have the room. So instead, I've had Ackie monitors like Susan here. Recently, I actually traded Susan for a brand new species of monitor that I've never had before, one that I've always wanted, and I found someone who needed a breeding female Ackie, and I got a Kimberly Rock monitor. Kimberly Rock monitors are so freaking cool. An Australian animal that has this crazy long neck, looks like a raptor, but they're so quaint and they just seem so like delicate almost. Like I have this dog named Nellie who is like the sweetest dog of all time. Kimberly Rock monitors remind me of her. They're just so well mannered and have that long face, that really cool neck, and this perfect body. They're semi-arboreal, so they need higher enclosures, so we are going to make one. I mean, we've already kind of made it. We just have to outfit it. Or if you don't like the Kimberly Rock monitors from Australia and you want an Indonesian species, maybe something like a tree monitor. It doesn't matter if you want a green one or a black one or one of the blue ones like I have. Small monitors are better monitors for most people because although they can definitely chew you up with their claws, it's gonna be more of an inconvenience and blood on your floor rather than blood on your floor and the emergency room floor. So in the most part, small monitors are more handleable. And if you wanna see a full video about the Kimberly Rock monitor, parentheses, maybe monitors, let me know in the comments section below. Number 4, giant snakes. Now, I'm not saying this because giant snakes, oh, well, they'll bite you. Not even just that. I mean, that is a concern, but giant snakes, I'm talking about, let's say over 10 or 12 feet, let's call it 12 feet, are inconvenient to handle by yourself. Now, there's extreme cases, like you see me handling a 22-foot, 200-pound snake here. There is no way that I can handle Karma, the reticulated python, by myself. I tried. I thought I was gonna be fine. I couldn't even get the intro to the video out because I had no breath left. None. Zero. And that's with half of her body on the floor. So it's just inconvenient and not really doable for most regular sized people to handle a, 13 to 16 to 20 foot animal. This goes for giant berms, giant retics, rock pythons. If you want something that is a giant snake, but a smaller package, get a big snake. So what I'm talking about here is just the dwarf versions. It seems so obvious, but some people don't know that there are dwarf versions of Burmese pythons, which are, I would say, pretty rare. It's pretty rare to find a dwarf Burmese python, but there are super dwarf and dwarf reticulated pythons that they're really easy to find. I've had them. That species just isn't for me. I'm more of a Burmese python type of guy, but reticulated pythons, actually, as you watch this, I went to Reticulated Python Fest, Retic Fest, on the weekend. I'm sure it was awesome. was a good time, I'm sure. Video coming next week. So there's a whole community of reticulated python people who specialize in super dwarfs, like my friend Garrett Hartle at Reach Out Reptiles, and so many more. And they're great for a lot of people. Not my personal taste, but so many people really like them. Super duper smart, really good looking animals, so many different morphs. The face and the eyes look amazing, and you never have to worry about a super dwarf reticulated python eating. They will eat for you every time. And you can get males as small as 5 or 6 feet full grown. Now this seems crazy. I guess 6 foot is the smallest one that I've seen, but my buddy Garrett has male breeders who are smaller than ball pythons in terms of weight. And even the females, a 10-foot animal is going to be relatively skinny because they are a semi-arboreal animal. Now, some of these animals, whether they're easy to handle or not, can be difficult to find, but I've had really good luck recently on my new favorite app, Palm Street. Palm Street and live auctions is the future of buying reptiles. If you're looking for something a little bit unique or different, Palm Street actually has a brand new feature that's really going to help you out. More on that in a sec. But the ability to ask the seller in real time on a live auction questions about the animal, the sex, the feeding, all of that is so much better than sending an email in a marketplace and maybe you get an email back that day. Instant answers and elaboration if you ask for it. And the live auctions last a couple of minutes, so you're not wasting all day to buy something like a crested gecko or maybe a ball python. However, if you're interested in higher value, maybe harder to find animals, Palm Street is rolling out a new feature. Long form auction is here. This means the animal starts at over $100 and lasts up to 3 days. This is the best way to move animals that maybe you need a bigger audience for or have a higher price tag. And if you're a seller, I've got a special link down below just for you. Buying reptiles, I actually find it fun to check on auctions and see how things are going. I've done auctions for years and years. The Palm Street ones are just more fun because it's an actual community with no bots, no funny business. I've never felt safer spending money on the internet. So if you're looking to buy your new dream reptile, there's a link down below for you too. Don't forget to follow me and see what I'm doing on my favorite app, Palm Street. Number 3, least handleable animal, frogs. Okay, so I know this is a reptile list and frogs are amphibians. You guys remind me in the comment section. I know. But I want to put them on the list because I think amphibian people are generally reptile people and reptile people are amphibian people. And frogs you don't really want to handle. There's some species that can handle it pretty well. White tree frogs, waxy monkey tree frogs, but most frogs you don't want to handle with your hands. And I'm not saying, oh, poison dart frogs, they're going to get you. They're the boogeyman. They're not. Poison dart frogs are not poisonous in captivity. They have these glands. All frogs have these glands where they can take in detergents and oils and toxins from your hands, and it can hurt or kill your frog. So yes, I've handled them, washed my hands, really scrub them, and then really rinse them, but I normally wear a glove. It's just way safer. So this isn't even like they're gonna bite you, which they might, which isn't gonna hurt anyway, but it's kind of cute. But they're not gonna tolerate handling very well. It's stressful for them, and then it's just too dangerous. Plus, frogs are pretty brittle, so if you were to drop them splat on the ground, probably isn't gonna go that well for you. So instead, I mean, it's really, really hard actually to find an instead for this one. Get like a frog-eyed gecko. Like there are literally frog geckos, but I would say because they're a little bit more rare and not as sought after, get yourself a knobtail gecko. Knobtail geckos have a frog-like head, or even Uromastyx, by the way, which have toad heads, or there's even toad-head agamas. But anyway, we're going back here and I'm settling on knobtail geckos because they're so darn cute. They're pretty small, but big enough that you can handle them without it being dangerous to them, if you're being careful, of course. And they look ridiculous. These animals look hilarious. I love them. They're great. An arid species, really easy to keep. You're gonna feed them insects, keep them in an enclosure that's, 20 gallons or something like that. They can live on a sand mixture, really hot basking spot. These guys are freaking awesome. I love them. They're cute. They're adorable. They're not really like a frog, but I tried my best here. Number 2, micro geckos. Now, micro geckos are great, okay? I love them. They're fantastic, especially if you've got dart frogs. A lot of people like to put them together, but I'm talking about things like ashy geckos, or even some of the small day geckos, not the giant ones, obviously, or morning geckos. I would consider all those micro geckos. And you don't want to handle them, A, they're all really fast. Good luck handling them even if you wanted to. And B, if you want to restrain them, they are really delicate, and even if you don't hurt them from grabbing a hold of them or holding them, they can overheat in your hands really easy because your entire hand is engulfing them. There's no way to handle just like a small piece of a micro gecko. And if they do bolt away from you, you'll probably never see them again. Instead, just get a bigger gecko. Get yourself, if you want to be like everybody else and you have no problem with buying something that's cheap and easy and everyone knows about, leopard geckos, crested geckos. If you want to be a little bit more unique, get yourself a Leachianus gecko, or if you want something that's a little bit more like a leopard gecko, but your friends don't have, Chinese cave geckos. Chinese cave geckos are cool. I used to talk about them all the time. I failed at breeding them, so I only have one now as a pet, but I love this animal. A little bit more humid and cooler temperatures, and they look kind of like the emo version of a leopard gecko.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Geckos aren't geckos are geckos. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that you're better off with something a little bit bigger where you're not going to fumble them. They're not going to jet away from you. I mean, any animal can jet away from you, but it's not going to be like a micro gecko. Micro geckos almost teleport, where these animals, you can at least try to recuperate if they try to run. So for that reason, I would say get yourself something a little bit more not obscure, I guess, or even if you want something more obscure, get something that's a little bit bigger than a micro gecko. And number one on the list, pretty obvious probably, emerald tree boas. And I'm gonna put chondros in here too, but mostly emerald tree boas. Actually, we'll just do arboreals in general, most arboreals, so we're Amazon tree boas too. And I know some of you are gonna say, oh, but so-and-so, it's always Amy Benzie, by the way. Oh, so-and-so has this animal and they're not bitey. Okay, yeah, Shaq is 7 feet. That doesn't mean that all people get to 7 feet. Just because someone has an animal like an emerald tree boa, an individual or a group of individuals that doesn't bite all the time, I promise you, most of them are gonna be bitey. An emerald tree boa bites, not fun. They got the biggest teeth of any non-venomous snake in the world. They're freaking huge. It will be an event. Chondros is just, they got big teeth too, they're not fun. And these animals, for the most part, as a rule, not an exception, don't like to be handled. And even if you're not worried about getting bit by them, they're fragile. They have more fragile spines than a ball python or Burmese python or corn snake. These animals are more fragile and you risk hurting them more than you're at risk of them hurting you. So what's the next best thing? There's a few. There's three I'm gonna give you. Scrub pythons are freaking awesome. White lip pythons are really cool. Macklets pythons are gonna be on the rise. Macklets pythons are gonna become more popular, I think. Savu pythons too, they used to be the same species, I believe. Speciated, because, I mean, they're not the same species. Macklots are cool. They're a little bit bigger than most emerald tree boas, unless you get a basin, then we're, similar size. But an animal that might get 8 feet, maybe even a little bit bigger, they like it arboreal. I've never seen one really on the ground. And look at the size of them here. I mean, I got to go to see my friend Annalise at All Canadian Reptile Girl. She showed me Hobbs, hers, and then she actually gave me my own Macklets python, Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. She's great. She's growing really slow. So I think it's probably a boy. I haven't sexed Pittsburgh yet. Anyway, Pittsburgh will get a custom build when I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to keep this animal, but Macklets pythons are freaking awesome. They're always moving around. They're very curious. It does take some time to make them not bite the crap out of you. Even Pittsburgh, my Macklets, they want to bite you constantly in the enclosure. But as soon as you take him out of the enclosure, he's totally fine. Let me know in the comment section below what animals you wouldn't want to handle and a good substitute for them. And because we do videos Mondays and Thursdays, that means I'll see you in the next one.